Geeks with beards. Geeks with beards. Look who's here. Geeks with beards. No need to fear. We're right here. We got beards. So listen clear. Geeks with beards. Geeks with beards.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to another toy review video by the Geeks with Beards podcast. And today, in celebration of the new Masters of the Universe movie, I brought in my core, I call them core class. They are the $10 price range movie figures for the new Masters of the Universe 2026. And I have He-Man and Beastman. And I picked these up at Walmart last week. And for $10, because they have the Chronicles line, which is the more collector line, for like $27, give or take. And they're just a little bit taller. The Chronicles are like 6 inches. These fall more in almost 5.5, like the classic toys were. Dude, for $10, Mattel, I think, is killing it.
That is the best $10 figure out there right now.
$9.97.
I don't even like He-Man.
Yeah, $9.97 at Walmart. Of course, other retailers, Target, they're going to be a little bit different, but they're in that $10 range. Dude, like I said, man, they're killing it on the articulation, on the sculpting looks great. Like Beastman's hair sculpting is great. The whip is great.
Even this little jewel there looks really good.
Yeah, they got good. Now, the biggest difference that I've noticed, and I've watched video reviews of the He-Man figure, of the Chronicles line. The biggest thing I noticed difference-wise is that the Chronicles one, besides being a little bit taller, is the Chronicles one's going to have a little bit more paint applications. And he's going to have a little bit of gold paint on his belt buckle here. The Power Sword, this one here, as you can see, only has, it's all sculpted in like this kind of grayish plastic. The Chronicles one, he actually has like a brown leathery paint job, sort of like a wrap around it.
Okay.
And he's got a little bit of gold paint details right here, kind of on these rivets on his harness. And he's going to have a little bit of paint details on his gauntlets. Other than that, they're pretty much identical sculpts, even to the head sculpt of the actor playing He-Man in the new movie. That's basically almost like they kind of shrunk them down a little bit. Because, like I said, the sculpting is amazing. Like, I think there's more detail on this one, maybe, than there is the Chronicles. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I've never looked at the Chronicles one in person.
And you said these are from Mattel?
These are from Mattel.
Well, once they hear this video, they're going to raise the price up $20.
Man, I hope not. I hope not. But yeah, they kind of, when they showed these off, they basically said, well, this is kind of the kids line. Okay, probably this $10. I get that. But, dude, looking at these, I would not call these kids line.
That's way better than the originals.
Yeah, I mean, shut up. I can't, honest to goodness, I mean, this is a true thing. I cannot keep from expressing my opinion on here that the sculpting on this is great. They did not skimp on the sculpting. They did not skimp on the quality of plastic. Feels really good. It does. In my opinion, the plastic quality is really good. So $10, in my opinion, skip the Chronicles. Don't pay the $30 unless you really want to. Pay the $10 and get the core line, because I think they're going to release almost every character in the core line. This is the first wave. The first wave is Beastman, He-Man, and Teela.
Okay.
Then the second wave is supposed to be Skeletor, Mechanic, and the Skell Knight, like one of Skeletor's guards that you see in the trailer of the movie. And I'm assuming they're going to make the other ones as the line goes on. If it sells well, I'm guessing. So if I was you guys, $10. $10, and it's awesome to get. So
all right, so let's I'm going to move the camera and we'll do a deep dive here, and you can kind of show them off.
Works for me, man. All right, now we're going to take a look at He-Man first here, and as you can see, great, in my opinion, great facial likeness to the actor, Nick Galvazine or something. I forget his last name. I can't pronounce it too well. And this is his look of He-Man in the movie. As you can see, the Power Sword, I love the way the Power Sword is made. I'm going to just kind of do like this, angle it like this. And it basically is the traditional look of the Power Sword from the 80s cartoon that most of us know growing up. And I will say, like I was saying earlier, on the blade itself, there is some detail here in the middle, some like line detail on here. And I watched a YouTube video not too long ago of the Chronicles one. And to me, this detail was not on that Power Sword. Maybe it was a mold defect or something on their version, but it did not have this little bit of line detail in the middle that this one does. Again, guys, $10. He has the harness here. This is a newer version interpretation of the Iron Cross that he had in the original 80s cartoon. Now, on the Chronicles line, it's going to be kind of a translucent plastic. This one is just painted red plastic. And you can see he's got some silver around it. And then the rest of it is just a brown, kind of like the leather part. And there are rivet details. They're just not painted, but they are very detailed little rivets all on the harness straps here. And as you can see, now you can't see this probably, but on the silver belt buckle, let me get his arms out of the way. On the silver belt buckle, you may not be able to see it on camera, but now if you've seen it in your eye, with your mind, your eye, there is some detail in here, some kind of sculpted symbol in here. I'm not for sure exactly what it is. It's probably Eternian. It may have a purpose in the movie. I'm not for sure. Again, I did not notice this on the Chronicles version in the video, but again, it was a video. I haven't seen them up close and personal.
That's odd. You'd think it would have more.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe my eyes just playing tricks on me watching these videos on YouTube, but I just did not see that detail. And of course, he's got and what's cool about this, it can, I'm going to turn him around, it can come off. I'm not going to take it off because I probably couldn't get it back on.
Like a Ninja Turtle figure.
The harness, I believe the upper harness will come off, and I know that the loincloth here will come off as well. And I love the way that this harness is. I'm going to take his sword out because this is really cool, this sheath. Because most, everybody knows He-Man to have kind of a closed sheath. Well, the way this one is made, it's open, but of course it stops the sword right here. What is cool about this is, like, if you think about it, in real life practicality, when He-Man would pull his sword out, if somebody's doing that, if you have a fully enclosed sheath, that's going to be hard to do because you're going to have to come all the way up with it, okay? Well, the way they designed this one, basically all he has to do is just barely pop it and he can pull it out. So in reality, if He-Man was real, it would make it easier for him to unsheath his sword. And what is cool about this too, if I can get this shown, we're going to show him underneath.
Ew.
Underneath the leather kind of loincloth is more of a traditional He-Man furry loincloth. The only thing, and he does have the traditional belt on there, but it's just not painted.
Okay.
The original toy was painted like a yellowish kind of color. I thought that was pretty awesome that they added that to the toy. And of course, he's just got, traditional boots, nothing fancy on the boots. I don't even think the Chronicles has any kind of paint on the boots. I think they're just plain boots. But he's got single knee articulation, which is still great. I think that's awesome. The elbow articulation is a single elbow, which now on the Chronicles, yes, he does come with a double elbow joint, which, of course they're going to. Good shoulder rotation all the way around. Not a butterfly joint, but still good rotation. And he's got an a wrist rotation. Now, it'd be cool and then what's cool about this one, and I think they did this on purpose, is because my toys, He-Man's always right-handed. Well, they put a different type of articulation on this wrist to where it angles up and down. So when he holds the sword, he can almost do the I have the power pose. Now, it doesn't look that good. I can try it. I don't think it worked out too well the last time I tried it. Like, you can have him hold the sword. Of course, his head won't do nothing. His head, unfortunately, it's on a ball joint, but because of the hair, it won't move or anything. But you kind of have him hold the sword, and let's see if we can do it. It won't do much. There you go. Kind of holds it straight up because of that different articulation on the wrist, which I think is cool. Because this wrist does this motion, then the left wrist does this motion. So they purposely gave him two different kinds of joints so he could hold the sword aloft so he can do the I have the power pose. So I think that's pretty cool that Mattel put that kind of thinking into it. Of course, the Chronicles, he's going to have multiple fists instead of just, because the only thing that this He-Man comes with is the power sword. That's it. But hey, that's all I need. That's all He-Man needs. A lot of people said, well, what about the battle axe and the shield? Not even the Chronicles one comes with the battle axe or the shield. They just gave him the power sword. Now, later on, of course, Mattel may do a different version of the He-Man toy and give us the battle axe and shield. But as of right now, it's just a power sword, which, again, totally fine with that. No problem at all with that. Like I said, it's got some great sculpting on it. Again, man, $10. I give Mattel credit all day for that because I was worried when these come out that they would be literally crap for $10. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I thought they might be bad, for $10, but I looked at them. I'm like, okay, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to buy them. Opened them up. Blew me away for $10. Blew me away.
That's pretty awesome.
All right, guys. Now we're going to take a look at the Beastman figure. Not really sure, if there's an actor playing Beastman in the new movie. Probably. But a majority of what you see in the trailer, he's going to be CGI, which makes sense. Beastman probably should be CGI, but practical suit might work too. But, hey, 2026. But anyway, we're not here about that. We're here about the toy. So the toy, as you can see, again, man, the sculpting, the fur sculpting on his, now this chest piece will come off. And again, I'm not going to take it off because I probably couldn't get it back on. But the hair sculpting all over the body, all over his head, his arms. You can see the spike, and these are all molded to the toy. These do not come off. The only thing that will come off is like this big hairy chest piece, and I'm pretty sure his loincloth will come off too. Everything else is molded to the toy. But all of the molded detail, all the hair, because, if you know the character, he's a beast, as his name implies, so he's a hairy character. But they took the time to give us good detail. He's not just a smooth, plastic sculpt. He's actually got the hair detail and everything. The paint on the face is really cool because it matches up somewhat to the original, toy and stuff. Kind of the white with the blue kind of shows you the resetting of the eyes and everything. The fangs are good. There goes He-Man. Like Sean pointed out earlier, the paint on the little medallion here is really nice. Not really any paint mess ups that I could find at all on these toys. So the paint from the factories when they make these toys are actually really good because a lot of times on new toys, you'll have what they call paint slop, which means basically the paint just bleeds over to areas it's not supposed to. I haven't found that anywhere on this toy at all because the bracers, these spike bracers are painted black because his whole body is this kind of this orangey red fur. Like I said, the spike parts are the brownish color. It's all painted. Again, nothing I've noticed, that slop or anything, Now, the whip, some people's going to probably complain about the whip because a lot of people, back in the day, the whip was real rope. But Mattel has opted to give us this plastic. And it is molded to look like rope, which, again, they didn't have to do that. They could have just gave us a slick, piece of plastic string looking stuff here, but they actually took the time to mold this to make it look like rope. And that I think is really cool. It is a bendy plastic, but it's already kind of pre-shaped into the little design here, but it is bendy. Don't bend it too much because it could still break, but it's got some good play to it. You'd have to pretty much put effort into breaking it if you wanted to. Of course, he didn't have any kind of action, but you could take the whip, if you wanted to, and he's got a good little whip, out of there if you wanted to do that as play with it,
What was that noise?
The handle, it's got a good little. Again, it's all black plastic, but it's got a good little wrapping mold here around his handle part on it. Looks like wrapping around it. Again, they didn't have to do that for $10. They're like, hey, we'll do that. Because and I'm not smart about this stuff, but I've watched a few videos. When it comes to toy making and tooling and molds and stuff like that, each thing they do takes money. So I don't know how much per toy costs them to make, but $10, whatever. I'm not going to fuss about that. On the back of him, we can see the spikes that are traditional for Beastman to have these spikes on his body. And what's cool too, again, they give him this little pouch. It doesn't do anything. It's just molded onto his loincloth there. But it's cool. They give us a little pouch. Again, the hair detail is all over the whole body. It's not cheapened. They didn't cheap out and just give us hair on one end and not the other. It's all over the whole body. And like He-Man, the articulation is the same. We have a single knee joint. And if you wanted to kind of give him the crouch look, I guess you probably could. I kind of like him to stand tall. And he does, real quick as a comparison here. They did actually make him bigger than He-Man, which, that makes sense. He's supposed to be a little bit bigger, I suppose, than He-Man is. Single elbow joint. Like with He-Man, these are a little bit tight, so just be careful with them. Might have to use a hair dryer to heat them up a little bit. And again, the same wrist joint, back and forth like that. And I think, did they? Oh, no, they did the same thing. Okay, maybe this is common. They did the same different joint too. I guess because again, you know, the whipping, the wacha action, I guess.
That's pretty cool.
So maybe that's going to be a thing for all of these $10 figures. Maybe they'll have different wrist articulation. I didn't notice that till just now. So, but yeah, guys, you know, there's not a lot you can say, but what I have said, I think, kind of gives a good description of these toys. Like I said, they're hitting stores. April 25th was the official drop date for these new movie toys coming out. These are the core class, or that's what I'm going to say, the core line. They are $9.97 at Walmart, at least where we live at. They're going to be a little bit higher, but they're going to be in that $10 price range. You also have the Chronicles line that's going to be around $27, $28. They're about 6 inches to where these are probably 5.5 or so. But like I said, guys, $10. This is the line I'm going to collect for the movie. I'm not worried about Chronicles because I think you're even going to get a Battle Cat in this core line. And if that's true, I'm set. Grab me a Skeletor, grab me a Battle Cat. Might grab, you know, a couple of the other characters maybe. Just depends on, you know, who they all make. And there's probably going to be some ones that I'm not going to like. They may not look that good, but as of right now, He-Man, Beastman, Skeletor, and a couple others I've seen online so far look really good. So for my money and your money, if you're a He-Man fan and if you're excited for this new movie, guys, get the $10 core line. It's worth every bit of $10, if not more, in my opinion. Really, they are. And I got to give props to Mattel for doing this line at that price point. You know, because Mattel's like a lot of the other big companies, you know, man, they've been price gouging toys for a while now. And for $10, you cannot beat it. So that's my final thoughts on it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys, you know, go out there, support this new movie. Let Hollywood know that we want He-Man. We want more He-Man out there. And go buy these toys. They're worth it, guys. Until next time, have a good one.
Geeks with beards, geeks with beards. Look who's here, geeks with beards. No need to fear, we're right here. We got beards, so listen clear. Geeks with beards, geeks with beards.